It's all shot in Lambertville, New Jersey.
Right. Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself first. Where did you grow up, and how did you get into making films?
Yes, I think it's very telling as to the work I do.
Mm-hmm.
I was, my mom, who's lived in Lambertville for about 30 years, she is from San Francisco, California, and she met my dad and ended up living in Caracas, Venezuela for 20 years, about that. And so I grew up there. I'm a native Spanish speaker.
Okay.
And I like to say that I am an undercover Latina, is what I've been told I am. Because I don't necessarily look like one, but and by the way, there's a lot of blonde-haired people in South America, but still, I'm very white, and but I am Latina, and I went to New York City from Caracas when I was about 19 years old.
Okay.
Got involved with music, got involved with dance, and ended up making my first film about a gypsy flamenco singer in Spain. And that one's called I Am the Tourist.
Okay.
So it's very much an outsider film. And that has to do a lot with how I've always felt. Somebody who's not quite fit in anywhere. And so I have that kind of open-heartedness or vision or closeness with people or groups that I think might be a little bit on the fringe or the margins, so I identify with that. And the reason why I went to Spain was because I received a Fulbright scholarship for a project called Flamenco's Duende and Deep Song. So duende is the spirit of flamenco. It's also something that's used broadly in all art as to what moves a soul, what compels an artist to make art. And flamenco is one of those, let's just say it's not background music. If you've ever heard it.
That's a good way to do it.
It's beautiful, it's heart-wrenching, it takes you right there, it merits what they call like an ole. It's wow, what did I just see? So I'm also always looking for those kind of moments in life and in the work I do, moments that transcend every day.
Okay, well, how old were you when you made your first film?
I was 25.
Okay.
Yes.
And all right, so let's. Who were your influences? What made you get into filmmaking as opposed to something else?
Yeah, well, I was in Spain on this scholarship, and I was hanging out with these incredible flamenco artists, and I knew that since I was just there, basically hanging out all night, waiting for them to sing, I knew that I was onto something really special. Okay. And also, there's always been in Spain a movement of foreigners, or there's a mystique around flamenco of people that come from all over the world. There's a lot of Japanese people, there are a lot of Americans. So I was also very interested in what draws people to, they leave everything and move to Spain and become a flamenco artist or just a groupie, basically, which is what I was becoming. But I didn't mind that at all.
Right.
And so at the time, the first mini DV cameras came out. Remember those? Yeah. And a friend of mine had studied film in New York City, and I said, Irene, can you buy a camera and get over here, at the Wiz or something? And she did.
Okay.
With a credit card, and it was a big deal because it was like $2,000, and we shot a film. We made a film, and it's called I'm the Tourist, the Gypsy Song of Luis Agujeta, and it made it to PBS, and also it's still being distributed in Japan. How cool is that?
Okay.
Yeah, because Japanese love this kind of, how should I say, niche thing. So that was, it took me about 7 years, though, to get it placed, right? It didn't happen just like that. So when I was getting involved in that, I discovered a filmmaker. His name is Tony Gatliff, and he made a film called Lacho Drum. And it's from 1993, so that's when I was really opening my mind, growing and learning. And it's a film, Lacho Drum means safe journey. And it's about the story of the Roma, the gypsies that started all the way in India, or Romani, they call them, and all through Europe, all through the eastern countries, all the way through Turkey, Egypt, and then they ended up in Spain as the gypsies. So basically, they're gypsies, right? And each country has their.
In Britain, they're all over Britain. It's the Romans, they were often referred to, but they call them travelers. In the United Kingdom.
In the United Kingdom, yes. They've gone everywhere, and they kind of adopt whatever cultures there. They've been there for a long time, but they're still, when they arrived in these places, music was really their identity. And so this film has no talking in it. It's barely all, so, and he's a Roma himself, Tony Gottlieb, so he really got a lot of access. So it starts in India, it's just them playing music, and then country by country, but you see a lot that way. And also music as just a way of pure expression. And it really shows a lot about the human spirit and also these different countries. So again, I'm kind of finding my own identity, so to speak, but also really in tune with everything I can find, everything I could soak up that kind of spoke to that part of me and of the world.
So how did that film inform the film now?
Well, this one. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. So, I moved to Lambertville, and like I said, my mom has been here forever, 25 years in New York, and I worked in a lot of different things, also a lot of fashion and beauty videos. I did over like 600 videos online. Oh, wow. On how to get this look, how to do that look. So also beauty is a big part of my life, and I'll put that aside. But always making documentaries, and I did a series for HBO called Habla, which means to talk, about different Latinos all over the country and their identity, right? So it's on HBO Max if you want to look it up. It's called Habla. Okay. We did about 14 episodes of that. So in doing that work, I became an expert in U.S. Hispanic people. And for example, we did New York, we did Los Angeles, we did Chicago, we did Miami, and each place has its type of culture, the Cubans and the Latinos, well, everybody in Miami. In New York, a lot of Puerto Ricans, everybody, Texas, and L.A., a lot of Mexican Americans. So I really got to really understand, and there is really a pan-Latino identity, but you don't learn that if you don't live in the U.S., right? Because each country has its thing, and then you're just like, we're kind of very similar in some ways and very different in other ways, but there is a uniting kind of cultural sphere, and also the language, right? A lot of Spanish spoken. So I became an expert in just like this big vision, U.S. Latino advertising and all that. And then I moved to Lambertville, and I tried to copy-paste my life. I moved here 5 years ago from New York, and I had a little office at Canal Street Studios. It's great, I'm going to set up and do my thing. And then Hurricane Ida came and just wiped everything out. So I'm living with my mom with an iPad, and that's it. And so I decided to go to volunteer at the FEMA tent. And I say this to everybody, you're from the area, so you understand what happened, but it's bad when you're on the National Weather Channel, right? And you're looking at your town. Okay. So I started hanging out with a lot of the Hispanic people, especially moms, because I also have a great relationship with the Lambertville Library that hosted everything that came after this. So I'll get there. But they were also a crisis center. And they are really the one space in Lambertville that's free, community center, and so a lot of people go there, not just Hispanics, but especially Hispanic people with moms, with their children, really trust the library because there's tutoring. It's just... And that's a shout out to my mom and also Jen Cyrak, who's the director. And so it became a crisis center. And in sitting next to them, trying to navigate FEMA, I mean, I know the people who speak English were having a really hard time. I mean, I don't even want to get into that. But imagine not speaking the language and they're telling you, no, we're all here, but you have to still go to a computer and sign up. I mean, so... Not to mention that they weren't treated very nicely. And so sitting beside them and, okay, your paperwork, where's the stuff? And then I realized, oh my gosh, they really are kind of lost in navigating living here in so many ways. It was a parallel universe. And so I, with the library, the library had already been trying to outreach to adults because, the kids are one thing, but the adults who've been here, let's say 20 years now, about. So we, with the library, got a grant and created a program and did outreach. It was called Latinas in Lambertville. Mm-hmm. And we went over many, many things. A lot of it about just advocating for yourself as women. Yep. You know, being able to go to the doctor's office and feeling enough self-esteem or whatever you call, a lot of things that women go through, but more so Latinas. And from their culture, it's very quiet, respectful, and it's like, no, you need to go and ask questions. Can we do a course in helicopter moms for the Latino, some stuff like that, and then also just finances and their kids, understanding the report card better. I mean, all kinds of stuff, and it was wonderful, and we had a big turnout. And at the end of it, I really didn't want to lose them, and myself being, like I said before, the person that is always making things happen or is looking for the soul of something or how to keep something alive. And I have experience with events, and we created the Oaxaca Festival together. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time ever that publicly this group was acknowledged in, let's say, the town square.
Yeah.
Right? So all of a sudden, we have them front and center, the pageantry, the music, the all the dances, and we brought people from different places, but also the Latinas themselves went back in time and learned the dances that maybe they had learned in school. And so we had about 500 people attend the first year, then 1,000. I mean, it was huge.
It's huge. We've actually spoken with people who are associated with the Oaxaca Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing that blows my mind is that the number of people in Lambertville who migrated from Oaxaca. Yeah. It's just like, you think, what? And it's like, it's just, I guess it's an example of, well, I had 3 friends move there, and they wrote me back, and we were like, okay, cool, these 6 friends are going to go. But it ends up being quite a center for Oaxacan culture and history.
You have Oaxacan friends?
No, we've spoken with people. I know people from Oaxaca from when I grew up in Texas. So it's a whole different deal. It's a whole different deal and not so surprising. But no, it's very interesting. We've had people come on and talk about the Oaxacan festivals.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's become its own thing, and that's exactly what should be happening.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're listening to Let's Talk, and we're speaking with Trina Bardusco, and we are fundraising. If you'd like to make a donation, WDVR host at Comcast.net. And so how many films have you made altogether? Like actual films aside from shorts and things?
Yes, films.
Films.
The first one, El Turista Soy Yo, I'm the tourist.
Okay.
Then all the Habla films, which we ended up about 16 episodes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Including some satellite pieces, but about 16. We had the joke that we were the longest series on HBO because it was 14 years. Yeah. But we only did one special a year. So, so those films, and then this one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one.
All right, is there a website or what kind of social media do you have? Facebook, Instagram, where people can find out more about you?
You can find me TrinaBardusco.com.
Okay.
Trina. Mm-hmm. Last name Bardusco, Bardusco, or Bardusco, most people say. Okay. And then on the homepage, just scroll down, you'll find A Way to Be Together. And if you would like to watch it, shoot me an email, and I'll give you the password because it hasn't been distributed yet.
Okay.
On a platform, and right now it's going through the film festivals and route.
Right. So, what's the reception been at the film festivals?
Amazing. I mean, tears. People are extremely moved by the story. They're enchanted by Lambertville. I have friends all over the world, especially because of the Venezuelan diaspora. Right. And they call me and say, where are you living? What is this place? It's like a fairy tale. What is this town? And so I think that causes an impression, and I think we have this opportunity to show what can be done in Lambertville because it is so small and it's kind of the perfect Hollywood set, so to speak, for this kind of a story.
No, you're right.
So it causes an impact, and I think also because people, it opens their mind to think, wow, there are communities all over the country that have their, I don't want to say marginalized, but it's taken time to get to get them to have a place, and I'd love for there to be Oaxaca Street. Right, in Lambertville. I mean, it's like 20% of the population, right? It's like the story of America, right? You have in Little Italy, you have the San Gennaro Festival, right? All over. Yep. It's when a population starts being identified as wow. And I did a project for the for the Historical Society in Lambertville. And they wanted to do an oral history project based on all this. Wow. And it turns out that the Oaxacan people who live in this area are from basically, let's say, Flemington, Stockton, Lambertville, and New Hope. I mean, they're very close together.
Right.
There's like 2 areas like that, and a lot of them are related, and a lot of them. So they are small town people to begin with.
Right.
And it's very interesting how they're here now.
Right. Do you have any other, aside from the website, are you on like Facebook, Instagram, any other kinds of things like that?
Yes. The Facebook is A Way to Be Together documentary.
Okay.
And I would love for everybody to follow that. And like I said, we're in the film festival portion of this. And so it's about promotion. It's about getting the word out there. And it's not online yet. But write to me. I would love to hear your opinions. And I will also send you the password to the link and all that.
Right.
If you'd like to watch it. And on Instagram, it's the same.
Just
A Way to Be Together.
A Way to Be Together. Okay. So what are you working on now? Are you already working on your next film?
Well, that's a very good question. Well, right now I'm very busy. Trying to going here and there, and also figuring out ways to use this story also to kind of open people's hearts up to in terms of who our immigrants are and the kind of conversations we should be having about their place in this country. And the film originally started as a feel-good community portrait where we're just going to show this town and what this festival and the color and all that. But then with everything that's happening, it doesn't become political, but it does have some commentary on, okay, we did have the Oaxaca Festival for 3 years, and in 2025 we had to cancel because we didn't want to expose our community to any kind of immigration enforcement.
That is really sad that you had to make such a decision, because I know I was on the Flemington Borough Council. I live there currently, and I think about 25% of the population, and we go through that all the time. I know. It's unfortunate.
Yes, and I think we'll be back. We're working on it.
Good.
So I'll be back.
Okay, well,
to
that's
promote.
good.
No, I would expect, irregardless of anything, that you should be back.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, but this festival means a lot. It really does, and there are people who might never see their town pageantry again, might never see those dances again. And there is one person who passed away during the making of the film, who Leo Clavel, who rests in peace. He was a wonderful man. We dedicated the film to him, by the way. A Lambertville worker, a dad, and he said to Ricardo from Fisherman's Mark, who's our operations manager there, God bless him, Ricardo Zapata, he told him, he said, look, I felt like I was in my town and I hadn't seen those dances in forever, and it made me feel like now I was accepted here, and he passed away. So that was his last chance, really, to see something from Oaxaca. So it's real.
Right.
It's real. Yeah.
How long did it take you to put that film together?
So the first year we did the Oaxaca Festival was a miracle. It's like, wow, because keep in mind, nobody really understood what we were doing.
Right.
We were doing it in the back of the library, and the library through volunteers was supporting. I always thought it could be really big, but we had to start small. And yet about 500 people came, and we did the food and we did the whole thing with Fisherman's Mark, our partner, the library. And the second year, I learned how to DJ, right? First I did DJing at the Elks to raise money, which went pretty well. First to pay for the band for the second Oaxaca Festival, right? And then I realized, oh my God, I have to film this. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, the second festival, I brought a crew. I brought basically one-man crew. Mm-hmm. My friend Alex Stickich from New York City, also a Venezuelan American. And it was just the both of us. And we did the first round of shooting. And then I realized after that, okay, this is what I need. So I waited a whole year to shoot again. So within those two festivals, I did and realized the kind of story I had to tell. Because, we short on resources, but so I had to be very clear on what I could get or not get. And then I directed this while the festival was happening. I'm also the lead organizer of the festival. Yeah, so I was doing the festival and the film at the same time.
Then you could ask yourself for permission to film in these locations.
Oh yeah. That said, the festival itself, we had over 100 volunteers. The city allowed me to shoot, allowed everything to happen there. I mean, it was just, it really is a community-wide effort.
Yeah.
And so we started really scrappy, and it's still kind of scrappy. But then after the second festival, it took me about a year to finish everything. So I finished in, it's taken me a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the look of realization on Trina's face.
About a 3-year process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So do you have other people that work with you on the actual putting together the film and stuff like that?
Yes, I do. I have an editor in Mexico. I taught myself how to edit too, because I was a producer. I would just show up, tell people what to do, write the scripts. But now, with everything that's happening, you have to learn how to edit too. So it's like, okay, we can do this. So I'm there with calling my machete, making all the trying to do this. Made a lot of mistakes.
The beautiful thing is if everything's digitized, it's a digital machete. So it's like you can't go. Whereas once upon a time when it was celluloid, it was way more brutal.
Editing. Let me tell you, it's still not easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But managed to do that, and I think the biggest thing for me too was, and I had to wait until this. Oh, so after the first year, we did do a screening at the Acme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, because I got a grant to make a 5-minute video by the Hunterton Special Projects Commission.
Okay, that sounds nice. Yeah.
$2K, it's not a ton, but shout out to them. And it was supposed to be a 5-minute video, a community portrait. Well, okay, now you know what happened. But so I had a 40-minute piece that I showed at the Acme, which was kind of showed all the dances, all the music. It was wonderful, and everybody. So it was kind of like a family affair. Let's say like a home video, but professionally shot. Right. So it still didn't have the story quite right for the rest of the world, but we did show it.
It did for there in Acme.
Yes, it was wonderful. And then from there, so at that point, I realized, okay, they like it, because for me, if the Oaxacan community did not like my work, I was going to be devastated.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't care about everybody else. But if they didn't feel well represented, so that was really a moment for me. And then after that, I was like, okay, we can do this. And it's tricky making a documentary. Yeah.
Okay. We only have about a minute left, so tell us again your website and where people can find all the information.
Yes, the film is called A Way to Be Together, and you can look it up. I think now, A Way to Be Together in Trina. Trina, and you'll find me.
Okay.
And also my website, trinabardusco.com, Bardusco, Bardusco, and just scroll down to the part where it says Way to Be Together, or look at my work, and you'll find it. And the trailer is there, the whole story's there, and if you would like to watch the film, shoot me a text or an email online. Well, I think email, and I will gladly give you the link. Yeah.
Okay. And all this information will be on the Let's Talk WDVR Facebook page later on tonight, too.
Thank you.
And also, every show on WDVR is on our archives for the next 2 weeks. This whole interview will be there, too. So thank you very much, Trina.
Thank you so much for having me.
And look forward to speaking with you again as your next film.
We'll be back.
Yes, definitely.